字中蕴含的情绪竟如此。
你们怎么还纠缠不休呢？
都是我。
佐山克也在。
莫懂。
外界有人进，我说我得到了解心。
我的神念族7大真主，只要出现在此，便是对我族威严。那你们试试斧头，实力早已二分。
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Alrasta channel. Here, I will share spoilers for SwallowedStar episode 233. Just a quick reminder, this breakdown is based on the novel, so expect some slight differences from the Donghua version. Alright, without further ado, let's dive right into the story. After completing the scale pieces of the extermination godly armor, Zuo Shanke and Luofeng decided to explore a mysterious stone island believed to be the private room of a powerful master from the past. As soon as they landed on the island, which was only 1,000,000 kilometers in diameter, they walked along a series of stone palaces and found many ancient reliefs carved into the walls. The carvings depicted the incredible history of an ancient civilization, ranging from visuals of giant flying ships similar to the universe boat and fierce battles between powerful beings, to images of headless entities floating in space. The curious Luofeng began to wonder if, in the past, a civilization far greater than their current era had ever truly existed. Zuo Shanke confirmed this, but explained that the secrets of this ancient civilization had been destroyed even before the two Holy Land universes were formed. The master reminded Luofeng not to obsess too much over the mysteries of the Holy Land ancestors or the origins of the universe boat, and to instead focus on his cultivations until he could reach the true god level himself to truly understand the secrets of this world. As they stepped deeper into the central area of the palace while feeling the overwhelming residual emotions left on the wall carvings, Zuo Shanke suddenly stopped in his tracks. Luofeng was also frozen when his gaze fell upon a row of giant, mysterious ancient characters carved into the main wall. Although they couldn't recognize the writing system, the message full of anger, regret, and despair from the author was directly conveyed into their minds. It told the story of a fatal mistake that led to mass deaths, despite a massive breakthrough having been achieved. The ancient stone wall radiating emotions of despair instantly put immense mental pressure on Luofeng, to the point where he seemed to hear the loud roars of a supreme entity from the past mourning the deaths of its comrades. Luofeng realized that the writings didn't just carry emotions, but also incredibly powerful residual willpower from a mysterious existence buried by time. This led him to speculate that most of the true treasures currently scattered across the universe ocean might actually be relics of an ancient tyrannical civilization that had gone extinct. Zuo Shanke, standing beside him, showed a sorrowful expression and admitted that the creator of this writing was far stronger than he was, likely even surpassing ancestor Yuan of the human race. Seeing his master momentarily lost in sorrow thinking about the fate of millions of upcoming reincarnation eras, Luofeng responded passionately with a sharp gaze. He declared that even if there was only a glimmer of hope, like the one shown by the existence of the two Holy Lands, he would continue to fight hard and was ready to forge his own path to reach the absolute peak. Luofeng's strong determination instantly reignited Zuo Shanke's spirit, and he praised his disciple's unwavering resolve that hadn't been eroded by time. The two of them then moved quickly throughout the desolate island to inspect the other remaining relics left inside the palace. Their journey paused at the third palace when Zuo Shanke excitedly called Luofeng over to a spacious courtyard with a giant, 1,000-meter-tall decorative stone wall. As soon as Luofeng's eyes locked onto the nanometer-scale diagram of secret engravings on the wall, his consciousness was immediately dragged into a mystical illusion, showing billions of creatures kneeling in worship while chanting a demon-severing incantation. Fortunately, a blast of divine power from Zuo Shanke quickly snapped Luofeng back to reality before his soul was trapped. The master explained that this carving was the absolute peak of ancient inheritance techniques, so complex that even he could only comprehend a tiny fraction of it. In another corner of the courtyard, they also found a heartbreaking final message from the carving's creator, expressing deep regret because his breakthrough came too late to save his people. Zuo Shanke identified this place as the 9th monument he had ever found in the dangerous regions of the universe ocean, but he lamented that the creator had no intention of passing down his knowledge step by step, unlike the ancient relics belonging to the Divine Eye clan. While the master was complaining, Luofeng was once again glued to a small corner of the carving. He was mesmerized by the microscopic structure of the secret engraving that wasn't bound by the basic elemental fusion laws or the laws of space and time at all. So hypnotized by the mystery of the fundamental particle arrangement, Luofeng didn't even realize he had been standing perfectly still for 3 whole days until his master had to wake him up again. Luofeng explained that the foundational structure of this secret engraving was like a mirror of life, giving him a glimmer of opportunity to break through his stagnation at the universe venerable level. Hearing his disciple's explanation, Zuo Shanke laughed proudly and revealed that during those 3 days, he had also studied the formation and managed to copy 5 large diagrams of secret engravings onto the adjacent courtyard wall. The 5 diagrams created by Zuo Shanke possessed 1,000th of the original technique's power and were intentionally made as stepping stones so Luofeng could understand them much faster. His master's terrifying ability to replicate such high-level techniques left Luofeng completely in awe. However, Zuo Shanke immediately told Luofeng to wrap up his observation and get ready to leave the island. The master suggested that Luofeng leave behind one body with his divine power on this island, so he could continue his cultivation and comprehension peacefully without any interruptions. This rushed departure happened because Zuo Shanke had detected massive battle energy waves involving true gods outside. Burning with curiosity, the master suspected that one of the parties engaged in the fierce fight was highly likely the huge axe creator of the human race. The two of them quickly hurried out of the isolated area to witness the epic clash between true gods that was currently unfolding. Knowing there was a chance the huge axe creator was fighting intensely outside, Luofeng couldn't just sit still and urged his master to move out immediately. As preparation, Luofeng split off a portion of his divine power to form a clone or avatar. Once the clone was ready to cultivate on the isolated island, Zuo Shanke immediately activated the giant secret engraving formation on his green mountain to trigger a teleportation out, leaving the desolate island under the watch of Luofeng's clone. Reappearing on the surface of the eternal frozen earth, the master's sitting mountain peak immediately shot forward, ignoring the various natural dangers in its path. Luofeng praised the beauty of the isolated place they had just left and acknowledged his master's incredible skill in mastering the method to enter and exit that mysterious space. Responding to his disciple's praise, Zuo Shanke warned Luofeng not to let his avatar on the island get destroyed, because he wouldn't have the time to escort him back in there again. Luofeng, fully aware that his achievements in secret engravings were still far below those of true gods, was determined to make that secret place an eternal cultivation spot for his clone to perfect his future techniques. Sitting mountain peak speed continued to surge drastically until it broke past the laws of space operation, exceeding 100 times the speed of light. Luofeng was briefly worried that this insane speed would draw the attention of other true gods in the universe ocean, but Zuo Shanke responded casually while pouring himself some wine. The master emphasized that if they flew slowly, the incredible battle would be over before they even arrived, since high-level fights usually end very quickly. Seeing his master so calm, Luofeng finally relaxed and accepted the offer to taste the rare wine. As the Green Mountain's speed kept multiplying until it reached hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light, a massive shockwave suddenly rocked the space around them. Zuo Shanke immediately waved his hand, turning the entire mountain wall transparent so they could see the situation outside firsthand. In front of them, the energy ripples generated by the true gods' clash proved to be so massive that they could suppress the innate energy of the universe boat. This phenomenon made Luofeng realize just how incredible his master's instincts were, being able to detect these vibrations while still inside the isolated space earlier. Upon observing the battlefield, Zuo Shanke was surprised because the one fighting wasn't the huge axe creator, but representatives of the Divine Eye clan against a true god named the Brilliant Gold Devil God. Luofeng felt instant relief knowing Huge Axe wasn't caught in danger because of his mess. From afar, the Brilliant Gold Devil God, a true god from the Dream Eclipsing race, was seen transforming into a giant 18-headed monster with 13 tentacles. On the opposing side, the third True Master unleashed an endless meteor domain using a supreme true treasure called the Star Kingdom, accompanied by the sixth True Master who launched soul attacks using the Green Eye Light. Even though the Brilliant Gold Devil God was only using the Brilliant Gold Beast treasure to defend, Zuo Shanke explained a secret. Most true god warriors actually hide a high-level defensive palace-type treasure inside their bodies. On the other hand, the Divine Eye clan elders hadn't unleashed their full combat power either, despite the third true master actually possessing two supreme true treasures. Curious as to why the Divine Eye clan hadn't given up even though they knew their target was impossible to hurt, Zuo Shanke decided to emit a mysterious black light to hack into the voice communication channel of the battling true gods. Zuo Shanke's intervention instantly triggered the anger of the 6th True Master and 3rd True Master, who accused him of trying to interfere in the fight. Jokingly, Zuo Shanke stated he was just curious why they were wasting energy attacking the brilliant gold devil god. The Divine Eye clan finally revealed that they were waiting for 2 other elders to arrive to seal the brilliant gold devil god, suspecting the golden monster had stolen Luofeng's extermination godly armor and silver wings. Feeling slandered just for passing by the deep abyss, the brilliant gold devil god roared in fury and tried to shift the blame to Zuo Shanke, who had just arrived at the scene. The argument in the middle of the fierce battle heated up even more, when the 3rd True Master cynically pointed out that Zuo Shanke, as the greatest treasure crafter in the universe ocean, wouldn't bother stealing the silver armor and wings because he could just make them himself. The Divine Eye clan stubbornly accused the brilliant gold devil god of being the thief because he carried the burden of his entire race. The slander infuriated the brilliant gold devil god, who dared the 2 elders to seal him inside his black-stoned godly palace treasure. He knew the Divine Eye clan from the first reincarnation era would soon die at the end of this cycle, while he and the dream eclipsing race would remain perfectly safe inside his miniature universe. Seeing the battle continuing endlessly, Luofeng began to feel anxious. Sitting next to his master, who was watching casually, Luofeng realized that the treasure ownership accusation was just an excuse for the Divine Eye clan to flex their tyrannical dominance before facing mass extinction in their era. Just as Luofeng started doubting whether they should keep waiting there, an incredibly powerful energy vibration suddenly approached. A giant figure wielding a massive axe could be seen tearing through space at 100 times the speed of light, trying to approach the battlefield undetected. The arrival of this new figure immediately triggered a reaction from everyone on the battlefield. The 3rd True Master, using his Star Kingdom domain, managed to detect the arrival and loudly welcomed the newcomer, who turned out to be the huge axe creator of the human race. The 6th True Master and the brilliant gold devil god also shouted in surprise, seeing that humanity's main pillar had arrived in the depths of the deep abyss. This situation instantly sent Luofeng into a panic, afraid that the huge axe creator would become an easy target for the Divine Eye clan because of the trouble he had caused, especially since Ancestor Yuan was currently sealed. Luofeng's fears proved true when the Divine Eye clan instantly shifted their main target from the brilliant gold devil god to the huge axe creator. They considered huge axe creator a much weaker target, assuming he didn't possess a supreme true treasure. The 3rd True Master immediately threw out a false accusation that huge axe creator had stolen Luofeng's 2 treasures in the deep abyss and threatened to wipe out humanity's pillar so the human race in the original universe would go extinct. Hearing the death threat, Luofeng pleaded desperately with Zuo Shanke to help huge axe. However, the master coldly refused, stating that he only cared about Luofeng's safety, not the fate of the human race. Despite being surrounded by a deadly threat, the huge axe creator didn't show the slightest bit of fear, along with the brilliant gold devil god, who offered a spontaneous alliance to teach the Divine Eye clan a lesson. Huge axe creator immediately gripped his black divine axe, causing a black light defensive armor to radiate across his body. Right at that moment, the 3rd True Master began to unleash his true form, radiating a holy aura like a lone god in space through the ancient Eternal Kingdom technique. Millions of meteors and stars inside his domain suddenly shattered, transforming into billions of 2-headed horned star monsters that kneeled and worshipped him. The energy pressure from this ancient formation was so massive that it reminded Luofeng of the devil swish technique he had seen in the isolated glass palace earlier. Zuo Shanke explained that this was a highly effective ancient civilization combat method used to slow down the brilliant gold devil god's movements so he couldn't team up with huge axe creator. The 3rd True Master then whispered softly, combining the billions of star monsters with the green eye light, soul attack from the 6th True Master's supreme true treasure. The collaboration between the 2 true gods triggered the birth of a terrifying ultimate combination technique called the Eternal True God. In the middle of space where the operating laws had completely vanished, billions of stars and soul energy fused into a single unbelievably massive monster entity. This ancient amalgamated monster manifested with 9 giant heads, 36 pairs of wings, 108 pairs of hooves, and 9 long tails, emitting a pressure far above average true god warriors. The battlefield instantly fell dead silent as the eternal true god monster stood tall, glaring at its target. With a cold, triumphant gaze, The third true master pointed his finger directly at the huge axe creator and gave the absolute order for the giant monster to kill him immediately. The 9 giant heads of the eternal true god began to look around, and their gaze instantly and absolutely froze space and time to the point where even the strength of a true god wouldn't be able to shatter it. The ancient monster then stepped forward, tearing through the spatial void as the stomping of its 108 pairs of hooves echoed in unison, shaking the soul. Amidst the total silence of the battlefield, the third true master and sixth true master exchanged voice messages with total confidence that they would obliterate the huge axe creator in one strike, considering humanity's pillar had only recently become a true god and was believed to not have a single supreme true treasure. With its massive body size, the eternal true god moved across dimensions at speeds exceeding 100 times the speed of light, completely ignoring all laws of the universe. Right in front of the huge axe creator, the monster roared fiercely, unleashing a powerful soul attack, then lunged forward using its sharp fangs and deadly claws, cracking the frozen space around it. The unavoidable heavy blow instantly sent the huge axe creator flying far backward, though both of his hands still firmly gripped his giant axe. Seeing this, the third true master, appearing as a phantom of light, smiled with satisfaction and mocked that humanity's pillar was only getting lucky this one time. However, beyond everyone's expectations, the huge axe creator actually burst into loud laughter, his eyes blazing with battle fury. With a hoarse and booming voice, he praised the power of the monster's soul attack, but made it clear that the Divine Eye clan's advantage would only last for that one strike because he had intentionally held back to test the enemy's background. This defiant response instantly shocked Zuo Shanke from afar, while Luofeng began to feel relieved, realizing humanity's pillar was in no danger whatsoever. On the flip side, the third true master and sixth true master became absolutely furious, feeling their pride had been trampled on by the huge axe creator. Wasting no time, the eternal true god lunged forward again to surround its target, but the huge axe creator let out a thunderous roar and shouted his 12th axe technique. Instantly, 12 giant axe phantoms, each 1 trillion kilometers in size, soared high and tore through all the suppressed space around them. As the huge axe creator swung his right arm, the 12 phantom axe worlds fused into one with his divine axe, radiating a blinding pitch-black light to parry the eternal true god's claws. The epic clash made the entire dimension tremble violently, forcing the giant monster created by the Divine Eye clan to take 3 steps back in a row. That unexpected turn of events immediately left the brilliant gold devil god and Zuo Shanke stunned, while the sixth true master screamed hysterically, realizing that the black axe in the huge axe creator's hands was actually a supreme true treasure. With an expression full of dominance, the huge axe creator casually replied that he had just acquired the weapon and was using them as guinea pigs for his new axe. Realizing the tables had turned, the third true master acknowledged the power of the axe technique and immediately ordered the sixth true master to unleash their full power using the combination of 3 supreme true treasures, including the Star Hand and Star Kingdom, to protect their clan's reputation from becoming a laughingstock in the universe ocean. That change in strategy caused the eternal true god to rapidly and terrifyingly transform. Its entire body was coated in purple armor from a pair of magical sleeves, and its arms merged into 18 sharp, armored claws. Facing the escalating, intimidating pressure, the huge axe creator fired back by unleashing his 13th axe technique, triggering a clash that briefly forced him back against the combined enemy power. Not giving his opponents a moment to breathe, the huge axe creator instantly leveled up his attack to his 14th axe technique, a strike that instantly swallowed the entire spatial dimension into pitch-black darkness before finally sending the giant monster tumbling down helplessly. The battle reached its climax as the huge axe creator roared loudly, unleashing his newly created 15th axe technique amidst the darkness that once again blanketed space. The brightly glowing magical axe phantom instantly radiated an incredible aura that made Zuo Shanke jump to his feet from the peak of his green mountain, eyes wide with shock, realizing the terrifying potential of the human race that seemed to be catching up to ancestor Yuan. Without a sound, the single axe slash that cleaved the dimension instantly shattered the eternal true god's body into pieces, forcing the Divine Eye clan's 3 supreme true treasures to separate once more. This absolute victory left a deep-seated fear in the heart of the third true master, who felt a sense of déjà vu from his past defeat by ancestor Yuan, while Luofeng was filled with overwhelming emotion, realizing just how strong the huge axe creator truly was. In the empty void of the deep abyss, the huge axe creator stood tall, gripping his black divine axe with a sharp gaze that seemed to split the sky. Staring into the distance, he poured out his feelings. All this time, He had been forced to swallow his pride and keep a low profile to protect humanity because he lacked a proper supreme true treasure. He carried the massive burden left by ancestor Yuan, who had willingly accepted an eternal seal for the survival of the human race. With a booming roar, the huge axe creator unleashed his deepest fury at the third true master and sixth true master, who had audaciously threatened to wipe out humanity, and instantly shouted his 15th axe technique to teach them an unforgettable lesson. Immense terror immediately washed over the third and sixth true masters as they saw the magical axe-radiating blinding light in the midst of the pitch-black darkness. Throwing their pride out the window, the two Divine Eye clan elders turned around and fled for their lives. Even though the third true master tried to control his Star Kingdom domain to slow down the enemy, he realized his domain couldn't possibly stop Huge Axe Creator's axe, which was capable of destroying even the eternal true god. The Huge Axe Creator's speed continued to soar to tens of thousands of times the speed of light, chasing and effortlessly destroying every star meteor that blocked his path. When the two Divine Eye Elders tried to hide inside a pinnacle true treasure protective palace, the Huge Axe Creator instantly manifested a giant golden hand 1,000,000 kilometers wide to seal the area. Realizing that passively hiding inside a defensive palace would only get them trapped and thrown into Huge Axe's suppression prison, the third true master made a split-second decision to absorb the sixth true master into his own protective domain. Thanks to the protection of his purple armor suit and his star domain, the third true master finally managed to avoid the risk of mass annihilation, but he yelled furiously, questioning why the Huge Axe Creator was still chasing them so ruthlessly. The Huge Axe Creator immediately gave a firm, no-nonsense ultimatum, demanding that the Divine Eye clan hand over 3 pinnacle-tier protective true treasures as a ransom to end their feud with the human race. Otherwise, he would use the two of them as live punching bags to keep sharpening his new axe skills. Cornered by the threat, the sour-faced third true master behind his armor finally gave up and tossed out 3 streams of light containing 1 pinnacle domain type, 1 pinnacle palace type, and 1 pinnacle soul illusion type true treasure. After the Huge Axe Creator received and secured the 3 treasures, the third true master instantly transformed into a flash of light and sped away as fast as possible. The absolute victory of humanity's pillar, successfully forcing the strongest clan to bow down and hand over their treasures, completely blew away the brilliant gold devil god and Zuo Shanke. In his signature crisp voice, the brilliant gold devil god immediately congratulated and praised the Huge Axe Creator's prowess, calling him equal to ancestor Yuan. The Huge Axe Creator calmly asked that the news of this victory be kept a secret for now, which the brilliant gold devil god immediately agreed to, knowing the Divine Eye clan would be way too embarrassed to broadcast their own humiliation to other powers. The Huge Axe Creator then made the same request to Zuo Shanke before finally transforming into a giant axe phantom that split the sky to head home. After the brilliant gold devil god also said his goodbyes, Zuo Shanke's green stone mountain began to move toward the exit of the deep abyss. Inside the control room, Luofeng, still riding an emotional high, served wine to his master while asking if the Huge Axe Creator was truly capable of killing other true gods. Zuo Shanke confirmed this and shared how ancestor Yuan used to utterly dominate the universe ocean in the past, to the point where many true gods would run in fear just seeing him from afar. The master explained that while the Huge Axe Creator might not be able to kill the third true master, who possessed 2 supreme true treasures, he could definitely take out the 6th true master, whose strength was much weaker. Zuo Shanke also broke down the reason why the 3rd true master chose to instantly submit rather than suffer greater losses in the future. Up until now, the Huge Axe Creator had never experienced high-level combat to hone his techniques, so this clash would trigger a series of potential breakthroughs, putting him 1 step away from matching ancestor Yuan. As for the seemingly cheap compensation for the Divine Eye clan, the master explained it was a smart diplomatic move by the Huge Axe Creator to avoid triggering an all-out war that would harm other human masters in the universe ocean, especially considering the enemy clan was under insane doomsday pressure and had the incredibly strong 1st true master. Hearing his master's explanation about the massive power gap among true god warriors, Luofeng could only nod in understanding, concluding that the Huge Axe Creator's greatness was definitely tied to the secret guidance of ancestor Yuan, who was still internally connected to the human race. As their chat ended, the sitting mountain peak began entering an extreme gravity zone that swallowed everything around it. The master gave Luofeng specific instructions on techniques to utilize the gravitational vortex to escape the deep abyss, a slow circular journey that would take a few months. Zuo Shanke promised to use that free time to fulfill his promise of completely restoring the crazy demon extermination godly armor, while Luofeng was already prepping for his next destination at the black striped stone pillar area, using his black token to hone his willpower to an even higher level. The process of traveling out of the deep abyss black hole vortex proved to be extremely complicated. The master's sitting mountain peak had to move in a circular motion, much like a sailboat using updrafts to sail toward its destination, a spatial manipulation technique billions of times more mysterious due to the area's massive gravitational pull. While Zuo Shanke split his conscious focus to control the green stone mountain and keep his promise to fix his disciple's armor, Luofeng sat alone at the peak of the mountain. After the tension from the huge axe creator's battle had faded, Luofeng began to reflect on the massive gap between his current power level and that of a true god. In his solitude, Luofeng analyzed the natural laws regarding the extreme power restrictions placed on true gods. In the original universe, those true gods were strictly suppressed by the universe's origin laws, so they couldn't just casually enforce their absolute commands when fighting against universe masters. There was even a cap on their divine power and severe injury penalties if they recklessly killed a universe master. Meanwhile, in outer regions like the universe ocean, these restrictions were far looser because the original universe's power was weaker there. There were no energy burst limits and no death penalties for them. This explained why true gods were so feared in the universe ocean, but tended to be ignored by powerful masters inside the original universe. Luofeng's daydreaming was broken when Zuo Shanke suddenly appeared and handed back the perfectly restored black armor. Luofeng was shocked because his master only needed less than 2 days to repair something as ancient as the crazy demon extermination godly armor. When Luofeng mentioned he was pondering the will of the original universe's origin, his master let out a long sigh and explained that a true god is basically considered a public enemy by the universe because their miniature universes begin to detach and become independent. When Luofeng tried to dig deeper into the mysteries of Ancestor Yuan's past, who recklessly defied the laws of nature until he was eternally sealed, Zuo Shanke refused to elaborate and suggested he ask Ancestor Yuan directly and formally through the virtual universe once his strength was recognized. To boost his disciples' morale after feeling inferior from watching the high-level clash earlier, Zuo Shanke shared crucial wisdom regarding the secret power of supreme true treasures. The master explained that Luofeng didn't need to worry because his star tower could instantly close that level gap if he managed to advance to the universe master level. Supreme true treasures possess an incredible feature in the form of innate secret engraving formations that represent high-level techniques. This means the user only needs to activate the formation without having to painstakingly create such complex techniques from scratch. The second-level formation equals the strongest technique of a universe master. The third level matches a true god's ability, and the fourth level is on par with the strongest achievements in the universe ocean. Zuo Shanke then revealed a 6th-level power categorization method for universe masters in the universe ocean, something Luofeng had never heard before. The first and second levels were filled by beginner and ordinary masters, whose life genes were only multiplied by hundreds to thousands of times, while the third to fifth levels were occupied by elite fighters like the Primal Chaos City Leader and the 5 Chaos Master. The 6th level, being the highest tier, was achieved by universe masters who possessed a supreme true treasure, allowing them to rival an ordinary true god without a supreme defensive weapon. The master suspected that the deadly 15th axe technique unleashed by the huge axe creator was likely born after humanity's pillar successfully understood and activated the innate secret engravings of his new black divine axe. The circular journey out of the deep abyss was finally completed after nearly 3 months. During that time, Luofeng used his time incredibly efficiently to practice his comprehension under his master's guidance, eventually realizing that the 5 Chaos Master's ultimate technique was actually just a knockoff of the 3rd-level engraving on the crazy demon extermination godly armor. At the same time, the clone body of Luofeng's divine power left on the isolated Abyss Floor Island worked tirelessly, studying the supreme ancient technique diagrams alongside the 5 replica diagrams made by Zuo Shanke. This combined mutual training caused Luofeng's level of comprehension to skyrocket rapidly, allowing him to master the entire ice armor defensive formation, as well as 2 levels of attack engravings on his golden right arm. It was an achievement marking that his understanding of secret engravings had officially reached the standard of a universe master. As soon as they arrived outside the frozen lake fire, Zuo Shanke said his goodbyes and reminded his disciple not to be careless again in the future, before the two of them finally parted ways in different directions. Then what happened next? Alright, thanks for watching until the very end. And don't forget to keep supporting this channel by leaving a comment, dropping a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, bye!